I got these really cute lanterns in IKEA. They were so cheap, and I thought I could customize them somehow and just make them like very magical, fairy-like, and decorate my room somehow with this. And I got 2 of them, so I'll see what I can do with these 2. So what I'm doing here, I'm just using a wire to kind of form a tree branch shape, and then I'm gonna be wrapping it in aluminum foil just to make it a little bit sturdier. And then after that, I'm just using some air dry clay, and I'm just gonna wrap around the aluminum foil later on in the video to shape the final form of the branch, which is eventually gonna get some texture on as well. If I'm sculpting, I'm always using a wire and then aluminum foil just to make the base. It's also a way how to save some money when you're sculpting, so you're not using clay to fill up the whole thing. But since it's only branch, I wouldn't use much clay anyway, but it needs to be sturdy. And while I'm working on this lantern, I wanted to talk about a little bit about my health, because lately I've been suffering with some health issues. I've been having chronic pains for a couple of years now, but on top of everything, I now started having breathing issues as well. As I mentioned in my last video, I got some allergy tests, and I was hoping I'm gonna get some answers. Unfortunately, it didn't really give me a clear answer on what's going on with me. So my suspicion is it might have been a combination of an anxiety and allergy, but I think it's mostly just stress and anxiety, which unfortunately I don't really know how to deal with. I'm always stressing about little things, so there's no clear answer for me at the minute, and I think I'll just have to visit GP a couple more times to see if they can give me some more answers. And I've also been struggling with my mental health for a long period of time now. I've battled depression in the past, but it comes and goes sometimes. Not every day is a sunshine, but I'm trying to get through it. And I think at the minute sometimes I tend to procrastinate a lot and play games instead of focusing on my business, and then I feel really guilty about it, and I think that's what added into my stress as well. So it's kind of like a vicious cycle where I'm just trying to get more stuff done, and then I overwork myself, and then I get a burnout, and it's constantly over and over. So I think I just kind of need to figure out my own way of working and not overdoing it to the extent where I cannot do anything afterwards. I just need to find some balance in between those two, because at the minute I'm really procrastinating a lot after a really big burnout, and it's taking toll on my mental health as well, so hence why I probably cannot breathe. What I'm doing right now is I'm using my holographic vinyl, and I'll be cutting out a shape of stars and moon that will go later on the glass of the lantern, and it will decorate the glass instead of the little flowers that came with the lantern, which I'm eventually gonna scrape off because I didn't really like the look of them, and I wanted something very enchanted and magical, which this holographic vinyl is absolutely gorgeous. It's got a nice shine to it, and it reflects purple and blue, which are absolutely my most favorite colors together, so that's what I'm gonna be using for the glass of the lantern. I'm just peeling it off, and I'm using some transfer tape to transfer the vinyl on the glass, which is probably the easiest way to do it. The transfer tape doesn't really stick too much to the vinyl, so it's easy to peel off afterwards, and it gives you more precise placement as well. I'm just cutting off the excess because the vinyl was tiny bit bigger, and here I'm just trying to place it in the lantern to see how it looks like, and it looks absolutely magical. That looks so cute. I love it. I just got out a bigger size. I just need to remove all these little flowers, which is gonna be pain. But yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 glasses on each side, and I've got 2 lanterns. So that's gonna take a while, but hopefully it's gonna go off easily somehow.
"2,000 years later."
This looks so magical, I love it. Now that I know how big of a vinyl I need on each glass, I just need to remove the flowers, and then I just need to put the vinyl on each glass. And then I can work on the rest. And guys, look at the rainbows! I'm honestly obsessed with the window right now, like it's so beautiful. I've got some rainbows here. Got some rainbows underneath the table, and then once the sun shifts a little bit, I'm gonna have rainbows all the way here as well. It's so pretty. It kind of matches the lantern. Just done all the glasses. I've even done the second lantern, so that's all done. I'm just gonna give this a quick clean. This was honestly a nightmare. My hand hurts so much, but yeah, that's all done now. I'm gonna give them a quick clean, and I'm gonna put the vinyl on. So I've got these lights, and I was thinking to print some crystals with the resin and then put these little lights inside the crystals. So I've got blue glowing crystals inside the lantern and make it look more magical. And look guys, what did I tell you? The rainbows everywhere now. It's so pretty. I just have to leave this one dry so it's easier to work with, and I think I'm just gonna start the second lantern, and then I'll see if I find some files for the 3D print for the crystals. Here I'm just removing the bottom that was originally for a candle, and I didn't want it there because that's where the crystal and all the flowers are gonna go. I got these LED lights from AliExpress, and I just combined the wires together, and because I wanted the crystal to be tiny bit brighter, I just combined 2 LED lights together instead of one. And then I'm using these black strips that are like a straw shape, and basically what you do with them, you just use a lighter to kinda shrink them onto the wire, and it holds the wire together. So I found the crystals that I'm gonna be using in the lantern. I need to support it first and then 3D print it, and in the meantime I'm gonna mix the resin with some alcohol inks and make it the color I want. The file for the crystal is from Rollerplaying and Miniatures. I'm gonna link them down below. They've got beautiful 3D models, so that's where I got mine. And I made mine hollow and I used some supports just so the light kinda shines through a little bit more. Because if I left it solid, the LED would barely light through. So I made mine hollow, and you will see later on I also added 2 holes for the LEDs. Here I'm just going through my normal process, so I'm just 3D printing it in some resin with some alcohol inks, and after it's washed I'm just gonna rinse it in some warm water so the supports go down easier. I should be really using gloves for both hands, but I think I was lazy at this point or something, so yeah, don't mind me, use gloves and stay safe. Here I'm just hot gluing the wires to the lantern so they stay in place, and later on I'll add the crystals on top of the LEDs. You wanna make sure you're careful when you're hot gluing because it gets really hot, and if you touch it with your fingers you can burn yourself. So I always like to use something else like a stick or a teaspoon that I can use to push the glue a bit more down instead of using my fingers. I'm just painting the bottom black for my base color that eventually is gonna have like a muddy color on top of it, and then grass. Using some air dry clay, I'm just securing the crystal with the wires and LED lights in place in the middle and just forming the base for everything. I just added the base just to hold everything in place, and I'm gonna do some texture of the stones. Nothing too detailed because it's not gonna be as visible anyway, but yeah, that's this part done. I'm just gonna leave it dry now for a bit, and I'm gonna do the stones. And I had to unstick the wires that I stuck here with the hot glue, just because I realized the glass needs to go there and needs to fit there, so I just pulled the wires from the side. I left it there. I did the second one off camera as well. I was trying to fit the glass there. I might need to unstick it there as well because it's just a little bit tight, so yeah, I'll do the same thing like I did here. And then I'll just need to paint it, give it a tiny bit of maybe grass and stuff like that. It's starting to look super cute and magical. I just realized the camera isn't really picking what I'm doing, so I'm just doing texture of the grass or like a ground and then adding some stones. There's a little progress on my lantern. So I just got these little flowers. They're so beautiful. I think it just goes so well together. So I'm gonna be gluing these on the branches once the branch is finished, and then I'll be using little bits like this, and I'm just gonna be gluing them next to the crystal, which I also need to paint as well. This is not finished yet, so yeah, this is the progress so far. I think it looks super cute. I cannot wait to finish this one. It's just gonna decorate my room. But it looks so magical and it just matches my entire theme. So I'm finally doing this project again. I had a little gap in between other vlogs and this project, so you will see a gap in my nails. But yeah, I'm finally finding the time to do this, and I need to finish the branches. These are nearly finished anyway. It just needs like covering, and then I'll be adding the flowers as well, and I'll paint the inside of the lanterns and I'll put the flowers in as well. All that's left is to insert this glass in, and that should be pretty much it. So let's get to it. I'm covering the branches some more in a dry clay, and then I'm kind of scraping a texture of tree bark. So I'm just gonna wait for these branches to dry a little bit, just so I don't touch the parts that I already did and then flatten them. So this needs to dry, and in the meantime I'm just gonna finish up the inside of the lantern. I'm using a darker shade of green first, just to make the base of the grass. And ignore the gloves, I was trying to protect my nails that I just made, and eventually I forgot about the gloves completely, so I had to wash my hands either way from paint. It's probably a bit hard to see on this light, but I did like a green moss texture, and then I highlighted it a little bit on some spots with lighter green. And I was thinking to make it a little bit more colorful. I might just paint some of these flowers in different colors on the grass itself, just so it's a little bit more colorful and it blends in as well. Here I'm just cutting little bits of the flowers and trying to find the perfect space for them, and then I'm gluing them on. I'm done with all the stones and with all the flowers, and last bit is attaching the glass, which is gonna be a little bit of pain because especially where the cable is on this side it's really hard to put the glass in, but I'll try my best. So here's the final look of the lantern itself. The only thing is this crystal is really vibrant, which I really like, and this one unfortunately is a little bit lower underneath the crystal and underneath the clay, so it doesn't shine as bright as this one, but it's still gonna be pretty at night anyway. But yeah, I really like how this one turned out. And now I just need to finish the branches finally. And these flowers. The only thing is I am afraid I haven't got enough flowers, so I'm just gonna cover one branch, doing the full branch, so at least I've got one lantern, and then I'll just have to order more flowers and do the second one. All the branches are currently finished. I've also added like little tiny ones, but I wasn't really keen on them, so I just finished the texturing and stuff. And now I'm gonna be painting it. I'm not decided yet whether I want the branches green or brown, but I think I'm gonna do them brown and maybe just dab a little bit green onto them, just so it kind of blends in with the flower stems. Well, yeah, so let's do the painting now. First I'm adding this dark brown. I'm not gonna go too much into the ridges just because the black will kind of work as the shadow, and then I can just use a lighter brown to make the highlights. So I painted a little bit of the light brown off camera because my storage ran out, so I just had to really quickly copy the files on my PC. I didn't progress too much, I just did a little lighter color with the brown, and now I'm gonna try to do the highlights, and I'm gonna add some green paint on some of the spots. That already starts looking so much better. It kind of looks like there's some moss growing or some like green growing on the tree. It looks much more like fantasy and fairy-like. And yeah, my goal for this lantern is to make it like a fairy lantern, like a magical enchanted lantern. So yeah, I've never actually done a project like this. Like I've never done 3 branches from scratch, so it was pretty much just me experimenting and see if it's gonna work, and hoping really for the best when I apply the color that it's gonna look like 3 branches. But now looking at it, it actually looks so real. It actually looks like a bark. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the outcome. And I think I like this branch more over this one, because this one looks more organic. It's a little bit thinner as well. I mean, I like them both, but this one is definitely my favorite. And this is how it looks close up. And Sophie's already trying to tell me that she's hungry because it's nearly 6 o'clock and she always comes exactly on time. So let me just put this to dry and I'm gonna go feed her in the meantime. Yes, I'm coming. I'm coming, darling. My previous clip was kinda laggy. This sometimes happens when I'm recording and I'm not entirely sure why. The screen kinda glitches and I'm not really sure what to do about it, so I'm really sorry about the previous clip, but I've only noticed when I was cutting this video. Okay, the lanterns are finished and here's the final result. So subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and we will see you in the next one. Love you, bye!